Yo, yo. Thank y'all for tapping in to another episode. We on episode 4 of Can a Brothers Get a Rap? I'm Ashley
Right.
Lovechild. That's my host, my co-host, Mr. Santana. Say something to the people, my brother.
What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all tapping in. Fourth episode in. Let's get it going. You heard?
You already know, you already know, you already know. So, you know what I'm saying? We had we got a good show for y'all tonight. You know, it's a Sunday. It's November 12th, you know what I'm saying? Uh and it's a good day. My brother's birthday was the 5th. And my father's birthday is the 15th. Both may they both sleep in peace. I miss them both. So, November is always a difficult month for me, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we do what we always do. We get through it, you know what I'm saying? So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, that's what it is. My
Like,
bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, my brother. What you was gonna say?
now I say one day at a time, my G. One day at a time. 1 foot forward. We just keep it moving.
Facts, facts, facts. You already know. So let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Popular opinions. Let's get into it. Let me pull up some of this stuff up. I had it to the side. All right, so oh nah, my bad. All right, so first question in popular opinions, and again for y'all, if it's your first time watching, popular opinions is the world's questions. It's not our questions. It's the world's questions. All right.
Before
So
you start, just to let the audience know, we don't rehearse none of this. You know what I'm saying? This
facts,
is just straight fresh. Soon as
facts.
soon as we tap live, we going right away. You know what I'm saying? None of this rehearsed. We don't do nothing on the back end like, yo, we're gonna talk about this or that and the third. Nah, it's just fresh off the dome. You heard? Pause.
And there's a reason why we do that. Since you had made mention of that before we go into popular opinions, there's a reason why we do that because we want you to get our fresh and real and authentic response and energy for the things that we talk about. We're talking about it from a real place. We say that the basis of the show is basically barbershop talk, but we say it in a real way, give you the real. And a lot of times people, they dumb it down or whatever, but we give you the real. It's an inclusive conversation, but at the same time, it's coming from real dudes that done real things. And we don't glorify nothing negative, but there's some things that we all regret that we have done, but we about, moving forward and being positive. So, you know what I'm saying? So just to add that to that, you know what I mean? So,
Facts.
first question on popular opinions: what's the best team Michael Jordan ever faced? First question. I mean, first answer. Is it the '93 Phoenix Suns with Barkley as the MVP? Is it the '86 Boston with 5 Hall of Famers and their champions? Is it the '88 Detroit Pistons who have 4 Hall of Famers and a Hall of Fame coach and 2 championships? Or is it the '85 Lakers with 5 Hall of Famers and champions?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with the Detroit Pistons because they had that. What's that rule that they had with Jordan?
The
Anytime he,
Jordan rule?
yeah, the Jordan rule. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
knocking
yeah,
stuff off. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
With the Pistons on that one because them dudes was just going crazy on them.
yeah. Facts, facts, facts. Me personally, I like that Phoenix Suns team, but if I had to go with anybody, I would have to pick the Boston Celtics because they got that's 5 Hall of Famers on that team.
Mhm.
And like I remember watching the highlights, like obviously years later, because when Michael Jordan was cooking in the '80s, we was babies. You know what I'm saying? We just was born or whatever. But um, when you look back at the play and he dropping 62 on a Boston Celtic team that had 5 Hall of Famers and they still lost, so I'm gonna go with the Boston Celtics, me personally. Let me know who y'all going with in the chat and everything. The world, y'all world answers. was the '86 Boston Celtics. They had the five Hall of Famers, and that was an unstoppable team. They won multiple championships. We think of like Bird. I believe Kevin McHale was coming off the bench because you had Parrish. You had that. It was a loaded squad. I don't remember that team, name for name, but I just know they had a loaded squad. They was deep, and they ran the NBA for a minute. All right. So next question on popular opinions: who's the best rapper on this list? One, is it Ice T? Two, Big Daddy Kane. Three, Redman. Four, Ghostface.
Shit. I wasn't around for Big Daddy Kane or Ice T as far as rapping is concerned. Um, Redman was cool, but I'm gonna have to go with Ghostface on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostface bars and punchlines and delivery uh,
Mm-hmm.
is unrivaled in that list. You know what I'm saying? On
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
first, go with Ghostface on that one.
Ghostface is tough, man. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. We was little dudes, but I had an older brother, and my older brother, I remember Big Daddy Kane ringing off in the crib, crazy. Me personally, I go with Redman. Me personally, as far as just rap, just straight rap, as nice as Ghostface is we talking about just rap. I done went back and listened to Redman for some reason, recently. Not for some reason, he's a legend, but for some reason, and I'm like, yo, I was really sleeping on Redman. Like I was sleeping on his lyrical ability because, like, when you hear all the top dudes, they always throw Redman in the conversation. If you ask Jada, Jay Z, Nas, all these different dudes have Redman in their like top 10, top 15 or something like that. I really like really Redman. And when I go back to listen to his stuff lyrically, it's like, yo, Redman got it. You know what I'm saying? On this list, again, tell us what you think in the chat, who y'all going with on the chat. Me, like I said, I'm going with Redman. The rest of the world went with Redman at 35% as well. So, shout out to Redman. Shout out to all of them. Cause again, people think when whoever wins or whatever, it makes you kind of feel like you're dissing somebody else. We're not dissing nobody. All those dudes on that list is amazing artists. I'm a big fan of Ghostface. But when we just talking about just rapper, I'll say Redman. I would say probably Ghostface is probably the better artist. But Redman is just, if we just talking about in terms of rap. All right, next question. Who would win in a battle? All right. So it's only three. So you got Prodigy, Guru, and KRS-One.
Rap battle.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I mean, I've heard KRS-One battle rap before. I ain't never heard Prodigy battle rap or Guru. I'm gonna have to go with KRS-One.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have to go with
Um,
one.
uh,
OVO OUV record said Guru.
Guru. I'm gonna go with KRS-One as well. Who will win in a rap battle? I just feel like KRS is a showman. Um, if you ask me who's the better rapper, I probably would have said Prodigy. But we talking about just like battle. I'm gonna go with KRS-One. I'm gonna go with KRS-One. Um, the rest of the world went with KRS-One at 66%. Ain't no doubt in that. You know what I'm saying? Can't refute that. You know what I mean? All right, next question. Which player would you rather have at 38? LeBron or MJ?
I'm going with MJ. He was
Going
still.
with
I'm going with MJ. When he was in the Wizards, he was still hitting niggas with 30.
True, true. It looked different. It was a struggle.
He was still hitting them. You know what I'm saying? He was still, and I'm talking about at 40. You know what I'm saying? So 38. Yeah, I'm gonna go with MJ on that. The killer instinct is still there. It may the speed and abilities may not be there as well, but he done found other ways to cook you. You know what I'm saying? And he's still gonna cook you. So I'm gonna go with MJ on that one.
Like MJ, my dude, basketball wise. We both had conversations on how we feel about MJ off the court. You know what I'm saying? But if we're talking about MJ at 38 and Bron at 38, bro, I'm gonna have to go with Bron. Me personally, Bron, he's still doing his thing. Like I'm gonna have to go with Bron. Me personally. Um, the rest of the world went with Bron. They went with Bron at 82%. Um, Jordan, Jordan was killing them, and he was running the Lakers. I mean Lakers. He was running the Wizards. He was supposed to do. He was supposed to own. He was supposed to own the Washington Wizards. That was the reason why he even ended up going to Washington Wizards. But the the uh the management and the financial trust, they did some other stuff with when he got there, they kind of like backed out the deal. That's why he ended up taking over Charlotte. So all right, next question. Who's the funniest on this list? And we big on comedians. Pause. Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Damon Wayans, or Chris Tucker?
As far as we talking about stand up, doing the show.
Just funniest.
Yeah.
Just
Funniest
yeah,
overall.
just being funny overall.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric, you going with Cedric?
Going with Cedric.
Cedric is funny. I sometimes I gotta be in a mood. To me, Cedric's, in my opinion, Cedric's best stand up to me that always stood out was his bit that he did for Kings of Comedy. I always thought that was like real funny. And I enjoyed his character on the Steve Harvey show.
They bugging not putting Cat, because if they put Cat Williams on that list, I definitely went with Cat Williams off rip.
Me,
Not
me,
on the list, so I'm going with what was on the list. Definitely Cedric, because he overall, dude is funny. Like he definitely was hilarious, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Damon Wayans. I'm a big Damon Wayans fan. His stand-ups is I'm not gonna lie. He has classic stand-ups, and then he has some stand-ups that's like, eh. But his TV shows, movies. So I'm gonna go with Damon Wayans. The rest of the world went with Kevin Hart at 34%.
Yeah, figured as much.
I mean, he. I tell you this much. I enjoy Paper Soldiers. I'll tell you that much. Paper Soldiers to me is probably
He
my.
was raw and uncut, but once he got to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Different story. He's not funny no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Paper Soldiers was what, 2000?
It wasn't that long.
It was
Pause.
2000, kid. Mm-hmm.
And I
2000.
and I ain't gonna hold you. Like I was cracking up in Paper Soldiers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah. But then I don't know. After no disrespect to Kevin Hart, no disrespect to his journey, no disrespect to his accolades and what he's has done. But as far as like being funny, stand up wise, like the movies he's done, I definitely like the joint he did with The Rock, where The Rock was like a CIA agent, or whatever, and went to high school and shit.
or Central Intelligence.
Yeah, that was funny. But again, it's like the same damn trope every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's
Yeah.
short, goofy, and it's the same trope every movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you
it's,
feel like it's buffoonish?
yeah,
Like
man, yeah,
borderline?
borderline. A lot of the movies done over the years is always that same goofy ass trope. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, it's like, shit's getting tiring. And then it's after a while, like what? There was one stand up he had, but it was like early in his career and shit. Like that was funny, but then after a while, it just shit just started getting like played out. You know what I'm saying? Like one of
It's
the when it's like,
the very first one, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, if Cat Williams on that list, the nigga just seems to just always consistently be funny as the times is moving, as the times is changing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he always find a way to just be himself and never switch up. That's what
Yeah.
I hate about him. But he's not on the list, so you know what I'm saying? That was sidebar comment right there.
Yeah. All right. So next question that we got on popular opinions.
Wait, who picked? What was the pick?
Oh, my bad. The pick. No, I told you it was Cat Williams. Not Cat Williams. It was
Oh,
Kevin.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah. So, again, the next question is: do you think the NBA bubble was the hardest championship? Yes or no? Is this a yes or no?
The
They saying
hardest championship. I'm gonna say yes, only because it was like it was the time that we were in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
nigga, how hard is it to play with no fans in the damn stands? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
you just straight balling out there. Like,
hmm
it was hard, but as a fan watching, it was like kind of litty because it was like it was really just about the game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
You're not shooting three because boo watching in the stands. You're not extra because you got a couple of little dips. You know what I'm saying, on the court, and you trying to style and profile. You know what I'm saying? You really just out there really balling, really cooking niggas and shit. Like, niggas was really playing to their ass desperation, like, type shit. Like, it was amazing to see that shit, that hunger and that drive that niggas had and shit. Niggas don't got it no more because, you know what I'm saying? And the bubble was just a different era, man. That shit was lit. So they need to do a documentary about the bubble because that shit just came and went and nobody really talked about how lit that shit was, son.
I'm pretty sure that they do. You know, they film and tape everything when it comes to basketball and
Oh,
football.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure they have. Me personally, I'm gonna say no, and the reason why I'm gonna say no is because when you're playing, like when you're in the bubble, you eliminate home court advantage. You eliminate the struggle of having to get up, getting packing your suitcase, making the journey to get on the plane, go somewhere you don't want to be, and hear these rude ass fans that's about to get in your stuff for the next, like, 20 minutes. I mean, next 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout
Shout out
out
to
to my boy
Corey.
Corey in the building. You heard? But yeah, you never, and you see the OUV in the back. You see the hat, right? Y'all see the hat, right? Yeah. But yeah, you eliminate the fact of the home court advantage. You eliminate the fact of just having to, like, really get up and really having to play. And now it just becomes like the best team in the gym wins. Like, you know what I'm saying? We both play ball, and in basketball, we've been to the Y, and the best team that has the best player, or basically the team that has the best player, wins. And in the bubble, LeBron was the best player in the gym. And and the fact that they didn't have to travel, I had to play, have to really deal with the home court advantage, or have, again, I think was a factor that benefited that team, me personally. So I'm gonna say no. The rest of the world said no. 77%. They went with the it's not the hardest championship, but it was a dope year, and we still got to see some basketball because, again, going back to that year when they said they was going to resume basketball, it was the best thing ever because it's like we was deprived of everything. We didn't have no more football. Like, everything was just getting pulled. Like, nah, that's canceled. Like, damn. So, well, at least we was entertained for that, for that time period. So, and then you
Right.
had a couple people in typical, nigga fashion, was breaking the rules, trying to get up with biddies, breaking protocol, trying to rub on some breastises and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was one of them niggas breaking all rules. Nigga. Matter of fact, Florida ain't have no rules, so you know what I'm saying? Doing whatever on here and shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Then 1 minute one bar is open, next minute is closed, next week is open again. So it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It was wild, wild west down here. It didn't even matter. Niggas flying in on some fuck it, I'm just gonna go to Miami type shit. This shit was lit, son. It was, man.
they said your boy Lou Williams, Lemon Pepper Lou, was going crazy in Orlando. Like they was like, "Yo, you gotta stay in the bubble." He was like, "Yeah, I."
Fuck
And,
that.
and at night, he was getting the shaking in the streets. Like, yo, where you going, bro? Boy, Lemon Pepper Lou. Yo, shout out to Lou Williams. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. All right. So next question in popular opinions, and again, tell us what y'all think in the chat. Who had the best debut movie? Thor, the first Thor, the first Spider-Man, Black Panther, or Iron Man?
Oh, that's off rip. Black Panther.
Black Panther?
Black Panther. Because
Why?
they done remade Spider-Man like 800 times. Like, come on, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like they done remade this shit with 3 different actors, 3 different origin stories. Like, bro, niggas already know the origin story of Spider-Man. Like, let's
Let's
just
move
keep
this
it moving.
along.
Man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Thor was cool because it was slightly different, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go with Wakanda forever, kid. Like Black Panther was just revolutionary, you heard? Like that was just different, son.
You
And
feel me?
the rest of the world don't agree with that, they bugging. They bugging on that.
The chat is going with Black Panther out here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's a fact.
So,
Black Panther was too popping, son.
you know what I'm saying? We got another somebody else that went with Iron Man.
Iron Man was cool. You know what? I'm not gonna knock Iron Man. The first Iron Man was wavy. It definitely was wavy. But putting it against Black Panther, I'm going with Black Panther, kid.
Hmm. Me personally, I'm going with Black Panther as well. It's just too tapped into the culture for me not to go with Black Panther. I'm going with Black Panther as the best debut movie out of this group. Everything about it I love. And just seeing the two different mindsets of our culture, because for some reason they think being cultured and being melanated, they think it's like a monolithic experience. They think we all experience the same thing the same way, and we don't. And me personally, I'm gonna go with Black Panther. The rest of the world, they went with Iron Man. Can't be mad at that. They chose Iron Man at 41%. And I can't be mad at that. Like I said, Iron Man was tough. Iron Man was definitely Johnny Blaze. I can't front. So yeah, like I could get why they say Iron Man as well too. So yeah, bet. All right, so cool. So moving on to our next segment. 3 movies that's a must watch. You
All
wanna go
right.
first?
So you know I got my little themes going on, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep this going.
yeah, yeah. I know how you do. I know how you do.
So these three theme movies is basically about the corrupt law system and
Okay.
how corrupt individuals in the law system use it to benefit themselves and shit, right?
Okay.
First movie I'm gonna go with, classic joint, The Firm,
Fire.
1993.
Fire.
It came out in 1993.
Hmm.
Tom Cruise, Gene Hackman, Holly Hunter, and Janine Triplehorn. So basically, it's about a dude, Tom Cruise character, fresh out the bar exam. You know what I mean, ears a little wet behind the ears. Don't know the game like that. So Gene Hackman character take him under his wing, put him in a this prestigious law firm and shit. Niggas start working crazy. But then as he's working, he starts to see that the law firm he's working for, their clients are wealthy clients, and they're basically the law firm is basically hiding money in offshore corporations and shit. And a couple of the clients, you know what I'm saying, work for certain organizations that have shady past and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when he starts realizing what's going on, niggas start dying
Hmm.
mysteriously and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Dope movie, The Firm. Gotta go see that joint, right?
Hmm.
Second movie, no particular order in the movie, but second movie, fire movie. Gotta see that shit if you didn't see it already. Law Abiding Citizen.
Fire.
Came
Fire.
out came out in 2009 with Gerard Butler, Jamie Foxx, Leslie Bibb, and Viola Davis.
Hmm.
Basically, Gerard character was law-abiding citizen, family
Family
got
man.
killed or whatever. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And then it driven the man to go seek his own justice. uh, with those who supported the corrupt criminal justice system and shit. So it's a definitely fire movie. Really bends the really blurs the lines as far as like who decides what's right and who decides what's wrong and shit. And then it's only really who decides what's right or wrong if it benefits them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So law-abiding citizen, definitely gotta see that joint. And my last one came out in 2013. Very, very slept on movie, but it's called The Counselor. Now, Counselor was with Michael Fassbender, Javier Bardem, Cameron Diaz, Brad Pitt, and Penelope Cruz. So basically, about this corrupt lawyer who represents a lot of drug traffickers and shit. So nigga decides to be like, oh, I think this shit is easy. So nigga decides to dip his toe in the drug game, and it goes all bad for the nigga. All bad. Fire movie though. Fire movie. Definitely gotta check that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Very slept on movie. Michael Fassbender was definitely was lit in this movie. And I forgot whatchamacall, what's this guy's name? Shit. He was also hanging with the homeboys, the young cat that was working in the supermarket and shit. What's his name?
Oh, John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo's also in there and shit. So crazy movie. Gotta see that shit. You know what I'm saying? So those are my three: The Firm, Law Abiding Citizen, and The Counselor. You know what I'm saying?
But and I've seen probably 2 out of 3 of those movies, and I've heard of The Counselor, but I've never sat down and watched it. So I'm gonna get that a good watch myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a fire list, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I got my list that I'm gonna go with. I so again, my list don't be having no themes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll be all over the place with my list, but it's still movies that you must watch. All right, so my number one, I'm gonna get right into it. My number one movie that's a must watch is the movie Clue. It's based on a board game. And it's basically like a breakdown, but it is hilarious. It's a hilarious movie. It came out in 1985. So like when this movie came out, we was born. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you go back and watch it, it's hilarious. So they really depict what the board game is about, Clue, and who got killed, who did what with what, and stuff like that. But it's a very dope movie. You got the legendary Tim Curry in there. You have the legendary Christopher Lloyd. Um, I don't know if you remember Martin Muell, Melanie Kahn. Uh, these are very seasoned actors, and they pull this off easily. So it's a dope watch. So make sure y'all get a chance to watch the movie Clue. Uh, Second movie that I have here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some fun with it. If you never seen this movie, you missing out. Class Act.
Oh, yeah, class act.
Class Act.
Very, very. Yeah,
Fire movie. It's outstanding. It's with Kid and Play. Also, Karen Parsons in there. She played Hillary on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. She plays, cousin Hillary. Um, Alicia Rogers, and I can't remember this girl name, but they don't have her name on the list. Dougie Doug. Shout out to Dougie Doug, Paulie Shore. Tommy Strong. Well, the Tommy Ford, that he plays Tommy Strong or Martin.
Mm-hmm.
He's in it, and I can never remember this girl name, but she was so super duper chocolatey in this movie.
Oh, you talking about Shorty?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Demeter.
yeah,
Demeter.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a character named Demeter in Class Act. She also plays the baby mother in Boys in the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
She plays Ricky's baby mother, and in Class Act, oh my God, I just want to pour some milk on her, just drink it like straight off the
Chocolatey
yeah,
kid. That's
real
bad.
chocolate. You know what I'm saying? I forget her
Mm-hmm.
name, but she was popping. Her name might be Alyssa Rogers. I could be wrong, but Alicia Rogers. But she is. Mm, gotta see that movie. Class act, Clue. You gotta see the movies. And my last movie I'm gonna go with. I'm going to go with The People Under the Stairs.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, yeah.
If you haven't seen People Under the Stairs, look at my brother face. He knows exactly what I'm
That
talking
movie
about.
was lit, son.
Tell
Yo,
him.
y'all gotta see that shit. People on the stairs, yo, creepy ass movie, but lit. You know what I'm saying? With some hood niggas in there, and that shit was just wild, son. It was a wild concept for a movie. And like the way this they showcased that movie and shit, like the underlying themes in the movie, was just crazy, son. It was just I didn't
And
know they could make a movie like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's wild slept on, son. Wild,
yes, yes,
very as a horror is very underrated because they'll never mention that horror. And it was made by the director was like a horror
Wes
movie type.
Craven.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? They
Freddy
don't
Krueger.
talk about that movie. They always talk about
Freddy Krueger.
dumbass Freddy Krueger killing you in your dreams. Okay, whatever. But this is real life shit that niggas was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And they definitely like the like the movie. They swept it under the rug and the stairs. You heard?
And that was probably one of I don't honestly, as good as Nightmare on Elm Street is, I don't think any of the Nightmares on Elm Street is better than People Under the Stairs.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it a buck. Like People Under the Stairs is literally the first horror movie that I seen starred by cultured people. Because for y'all that don't know, I don't like using the word black because we're not three-fourths as a people. We're not three-fourths as a human being. So I say the word cultured or melanated or ebony as a substitute. That's the first movie that featured us and told and basically stuff that we would do in that situation.
Not and then not for nothing. Only this nigga Wes Craven can turn horror. I mean, sorry, can turn poverty as a theme for horror, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all
Popping,
gotta see that shit. Like,
popping.
if you ever seen poverty as a horror movie, People on the Stairs is a definite depiction of poverty. You know what I'm saying? As horror. You feel
Hmm.
me? Like,
Hmm.
fire movies. And that shit
And
came out in the 90s or some shit.
it came out in 1991. It starred
God damn.
and that's come on, that's a minute ago, right? So it starred in Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams, you seen him in the Mighty Duck movies. You seen him play. I think he played Ohaji and Moesha. Um,
Wasn't he like sister a little bit, like little cameos or some shit, like
he
maybe
he
boy, um,
he might have had some cameos because as a child actor he was like out there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
facts, facts,
the
facts.
top tier dudes. You had Ving Rhames, a young Ving Rhames in here. You had Everett McGill, AJ Langer. You also had the girl from House Party with Play, and she was like, I don't appreciate the way you treated me. You remember that scene with Martin when he was going off about not having enough room in the whip?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
little sexy little shorty.
yeah.
She plays the big sister in this movie. She plays the big sister in this movie. So it's a very slept on movie. And if you want a good horror movie to watch and have the melanated experience on what we would do, because they say, well, if we in a horror movie, it would be no movie. In this particular movie, and with the different themes and underlying messages in this movie, and this is where Jordan Peele, this is where he gets his foundation from in horror movies. He said it on numerous occasions that People Under the Stairs is his foundation when it comes to horror movies and seeing us in the movies and what we would do in these movies.
Because
So
you can't put black people in. I'm sorry, melanated people in movies with like supernatural. You know what I'm saying? Because we
right,
got shit we deal with on a regular basis to have you come home on a hard day's work and the ghost is in the crib fucking with your crib. Nah, my nigga, we don't got time for that, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Boss, when I was at work, but you won't fuck with me. Nah, that nigga's bugging.
That's a fact. Like, and then on top of that, like, cause we've seen us in movies and in these horrors, but they always make it jokey. Like, Haunted House with Marlon Wayans, that was funny, and it was meant to be funny, but it was still jokey. You think of
When Busta Rhymes was in Halloween, was it?
Halloween, right? It was
Like,
it was jokey. You know what I'm
yo,
saying? You think of Leprechaun in the Hood, one and two, it's jokey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo,
oh, so definitely, if you haven't seen People Under the Stairs, Clue, and Class Act,
I
watch
gotta
those.
check out Clue though. I gotta definitely check out Clue.
Yeah, Clue is popping. It's a guaranteed laughter, and it's just an all around good movie. Yeah. So one classic show that
Ooh,
people watch.
all right, one classic show, definitely. Since we all on apps now, so it should definitely be on the FX app. Is the show called The Shield. Came out
Mm,
in 2002. Had 7 seasons. It was starred with Michael Chiklis, Walton Goggins, Kenny Johnson, Michael Jace, and Catherine Dent.
mm,
Basically, it follows the lives of a dirty cop named Vic Mackey and his corrupt LAPD unit under his command. Pretty much think of it as like Training Day if Lorenzo was a white dude.
mm.
And
Okay.
at a movie, it's a whole 7 seasons of him doing crooked shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that for sure, this series came out and it was like a foundational series for FX because FX around that time wasn't really known. It was just a new network. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
for TV is concerned, we're not talking about like HBO, Cinemax, anything like that. This was just on a regular TV network. You know what I'm saying? You ain't need premium cable to get FX back then. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this show, it was pivotal because like the shit that they was showing in the show was fucking crazy, my nigga. Like it was one of the first shows that really pushed the boundaries as far as like because HBO Showtime back in the days was premium, right? So the type of violence they would show was different as opposed to it being on Fox or ABC. You know what I'm saying? It was cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm.
But FX was like, nah, fuck that. We want to get known. We want to get stomped with the big dogs. The Shield was definitely that show that really pushed the envelope. So now all the networks, whether it be premium or regular, they all show violence. But this
Mm-hmm.
Shield was the first show to really push that envelope for 7 seasons straight. My name, he's getting bodied, shot up, cut up, wild sexual assault shit going on. Like it was a wild show. So if you ever want to see some lit shit, check out The Shield, son. Shit was fire, son.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I've never got a chance to really watch The Shield. But I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check
Nah,
it out.
you know how the shows we watch now. Like
Mhm.
what's our favorite show with Buddy from the Avengers, Hawkeye nigga. What's that nigga name? That
Oh,
show,
you talking about the mayor of Kingstown?
Man, Kingstown.
Mm-hmm.
That show pays homage to the Shield. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
as far as the level of violence that the Mayor of Kingstown showcases,
Mm-hmm.
the Shield was the first show to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Hands down, son. Hands
Okay.
down. Like from the first episode all the way to the series finale. Like niggas had you on the edge of the seat type shit. Like you don't know who's gonna get bodied, what CI gonna get caught up in the streets. Like, yo, the shit was lit, son.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lit ass show, son. For real, for real. Yo, people in the chat, you ever get a chance, check that show out, The Shield, son.
Is it on any social media? Is it on any like movie platforms you know of?
Since it was an FX show, it should be like on the FX app. You know what I'm saying? Like you know
Mm-hmm.
how apps now where you could check out their old shows and their new shows. So it should be definitely on FX shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the network that it premiered on this shit, and it definitely from there, FX just blew up from there. So like FX was definitely um was on tier and with all the other networks after that show. You know what I'm saying?
My show I'm going with is the show called The Banshee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely put me on the Banshee for sure.
Yeah, Banshee. When I first seen Banshee, it was like, yo, what is this? Like the whole theme and concept was just so different. When you have uh, a robber, he did about like 10 years in jail, come out, look for his shorty because he the reason why he ended up going to jail, um, he went because of shorty. I could tell y'all that because that's the foundation of the show. But now when he gets out, he looking for her, and the things that he's finding out is just like a headbender, and it's a whole lot of violence. It gets popping real quick with Sheriff Hood. It stars Anthony Starr, Ivana McClecky, uh, Leela Simmons. You see Leela Simmons. She plays the sister on Force
Mm.
on Power Force. She plays the sister that Vic the Russian crew or the Russian mob or the Polish mob. The sister,
Oh,
Vic.
Iris Jones.
My bad. The Irish sister, yeah. She plays. Well, that's who that is. Leela Simmons, Han Lee, and Ryan Shane. Fire series. And I feel like I'm missing one other person. I am missing one other person. I don't see him on this list. I'm trying to look at a little cheat sheet for those who don't realize. But it's another person that's I'm looking for, and I can't find him. They're not showing him in the cast, but I know he's in the cast because he had a prominent role on the show. Um, but anyway, very good series. Like I said, it gets real violent. It shows his journey from when he's getting out of jail, how he's looking to find this woman, the things that he finds out, and this town called Banshee is unlike any other place, and they get it popping. They get it popping. That show used to come out on. I could be wrong. It was either Showtime or Cinemax. I could be wrong about either or, but it was one of those two networks. And man, it was crazy. They had some scenes in there that was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Who thought of this violence? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So they had some really epic scenes in there that's still legendary, still to this day. You got some cologne?
Kelowna this week is Gucci Guilty, y'all. For men, y'all gotta definitely get this one. Gucci Guilty is fire. They got a nice woodsy smell. Got some rosemary in there, juniper berries. Definitely strong scent. I mean, strong manly scent. And it's gonna get you right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely get you a bottle of Gucci Guilty, and you ain't gonna be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Bet.
For sure.
So I got 3 albums that I like to mix it up with 3 new artists or 3 established artists or 3 projects that is a must listen to. Because it's just crazy to me that we live in a world and some people have not heard this work of art. Um, 3 albums that is a must listen to. Uh, Mace Harlem World
Mm.
is a must listen to. I know you know. I know y'all know who Mace is. Mace now is probably more known with him and Cameron doing the It Is What It Is podcast or Is What It Is sports show. But that album Harlem World was fire. That's
That,
so that
that's
album.
listen. That's
Yeah.
definitely for sure.
My second one, gotta give y'all a little R&B, y'all. Gotta give y'all that. Yo, shout out to Leaf in the building. Shout out. Thank you for
Shout
pulling.
out, good fan.
You know what I'm saying? A second work of art that y'all should get into is
Oh,
make
that's
sure
right.
that's a fact. That's a fact. See,
We
that's
ain't even-
my family. He stay on point. Hit the like button, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, facts.
We in episode 4, and we have yet to say that the whole time.
No,
Make sure
that's a
y'all,
fact. They just went straight to work. You know what I'm
you know what I'm
saying?
saying? We just went straight to work. You know what I'm saying? We ain't like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Show love. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like and subscribe for your boys. You heard?
So the second album and artist that y'all should listen to is R&B is SWV.
Ooh.
It's About Time album.
You know what I'm saying? Men can get emotional too through song. You heard? Like we like good music too. You know what I'm saying? R&B be hitting niggas right. You know what I'm saying?
But I ain't gonna front. SWV on that particular album, it was like they was really trying to make love to our mind, body, and soul. Like
Facts.
the lyrics that they was saying, the freaky stuff that they was talking about, and the sensual stuff that they was talking about. That album, fire,
Hmm?
fire, fire. So that is a must listen to album. So make sure for those who haven't heard it, y'all go listen to that. All right. And my third album, I was kind of like two ways about um, either or on one of these albums because it was actually 4 that I had in mind. But um, the next album that y'all should listen to is another R&B classic. Changing Faces classics too. They got classics too. That is a fact. The third album that y'all should listen to, I'm gonna go with. Mm, all right, I'm gonna give you another R&B classic. I'm gonna give you another R&B classic. Make sure y'all go and listen to Silk Lose Control album.
Hmm.
That album, classics on that album. You won't be mad going back to listen to that album. So make sure y'all go back to listen to Silk's Lose Control album. Make sure y'all go back to listen to SWV It's About Time album. And make sure y'all go back to listen to Mace Harlem World album.
Facts. Facts. Classic Jones right there.
Fire album. Alright, so jumping into topics, right? Now, I don't know, I mentioned this to you before off camera, but there's a report in Ohio that more than 1,000 teenagers have gone missing in 2023 alone. So from the beginning of the year in January to right now, there's over 1,000 teenagers missing in the state of Ohio right now.
Shit's unheard of. Like what's the FBI doing? What's DA not all over the scene? What's all these alphabet groups and alphabet gangs doing? Like, and these is not doing y'all job. Like, y'all getting paid all this government money and shit not getting done. Like, why? Because it's all right. Of those 1,000 kids, what's the percentage of those percentage of those kids being melanated?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And you
saying?
or go ahead, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. And then at the end of the day, that shouldn't even matter anyway because it's children.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you shouldn't have a bias. Oh, he melanated. I don't give a fuck type shit. Like, and go harder for the non-melanated kids. Like, what's the difference? It's children anyway. You know what I'm saying? A
Mm-hmm.
thousand, insane. It's insane, and the fact that it's not being broadcasted enough, it's not being talked about, it's not being investigated. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what's up, son?
Mm-hmm.
You know how we talk. It's like, yo, this the era we living in is crazy right now, son.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, like. And
Mm-hmm.
when we was growing up, we didn't have all this technology, fucking find my iPhone, all this shit. And I don't know the percentage or the statistics, but I ain't hear 1,000 kids getting kidnapped when we was growing up, son. And we
Mm-hmm.
was outside all day.
Facts.
We was outside all day, kid. Like just being outside, doing shit we not supposed to be doing, but we was outside. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we in this today's age with all this quote unquote modern technology, but yet we can't find children that go missing or prevent children from going missing. Like this shit is insane. Like where they snatching them from the crib, or they snatching them from the playground. Like what's going on? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's school part of the shit? Like, is the damn daycare center part of it? Like, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Add to that, I was seeing some shit on TikTok, which was like crazy to me, where a lot of these top hotel chains, right, where people were videotaping how there were secret rooms in their rooms,
Mm-hmm.
where
Like
like the
closet.
the closet, if you open the closet up, if you had a hotel room with a big closet, the floorboard will open up and it's a big ass hallway type shit.
Right, right,
Or
right, right.
another room where the fucking is a two-way mirror type shit, you know what I'm saying? And then you pull the mirror off, it's another corridor,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, leading deep down into wherever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So what's up? Man? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's really going on out here? Like, motherfuckers want to know type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? How 1,000 kids go missing and ain't nobody talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not being broadcasted heavy. Niggas ain't chopping it up about it. Niggas ain't having no real discussion about this shit. Like, this shit is scary, son. I got a daughter, you got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's up, son? Like what's really going on, son? What's the tea? I'm thirsty. I want to know what's up, son. Quench my thirst. I
Mm-hmm.
want to know, saying
Mm-hmm.
that's wild to me, son.
And in a place like Ohio, like it's middle America. You know what I'm saying? It's not somewhere that's like a sought out place to go live. It's a place where you could live, raise your family, live a good life because it's moderately cheap to live in Ohio. And it's middle America people. It's not like, it's you have a whole bunch of like people that's working these high class jobs. These people that are working class people. They have a home that they pay a mortgage on. They have children, and they get to raise their kids, and the kids get the benefit of all weathers, or all year round. And you would think a place like that would be very wholesome to live, but if you a trafficker, that's the perfect place to go because everybody's supposed to know everybody. The kids are supposed to be able to ride their bikes or walk to school with no problem. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is supposed to be a safe place to live when you think of places like your Ohio's, your Illinois, your Michigans, your Wisconsins, your Indianas. This is supposed to be middle America, your Kansas. So to hear something like that happening is very disappointing. And obviously, they sweeping it under the rug because this is something that should be national news. And you can tell that majority of the kids that are taken are kids that look like me and you, that look like our children. Because if these were 1,000 unmelanated kids that was being taken, this would be national news.
Mm-hmm.
This would be on every platform that needs to be speaking on. So that lets me know where our culture is right now. Where we're not even worried about kids in Cleveland. We're more worried about what rappers is talking about. We more worried about what this celebrity, what they choose to do, opposed to talking about these kids. Now, having a balance is two different things, but nobody's saying anything about this.
Like, they more talking about Sexy Red garbage ass fucking cosmetic line than
Mhm,
what's really going on in these streets. Like, you know what I'm
mhm,
saying? I really feel like these motherfuckers is really paid to distract niggas while motherfuckers is getting taken. Cause you gotta look at it like this. There has to be a whole industry and a whole machine behind trafficking children or trafficking people in general. You feel me?
mhm, mhm,
Because like then you got the organ business. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? You got these wild pedo motherfuckers that will pay anything for like children's socks and wild disgusting shit.
mhm,
All this shit has to be fed through you know what I'm saying, through some. So that's why I'm like, how the FBI don't know none of this shit? Like how y'all turn a blind eye? This shit is wild ridiculous, son.
mhm,
Ain't
mhm,
black ain't, nah, these motherfuckers is black. Ain't black people in the FBI too?
mhm,
Saying like, what are y'all doing?
mhm,
You're not doing nothing, huh? You just filing paperwork and just looking the other way and busting your gun. at the gun range. You're
Now,
not solving no crimes.
now, when I heard the story, they made mention that they're making these tactical adjustments so that way they could slow it down and make a dent in this. It's 1,000 kids.
Slow it down.
This
Nigga,
should
you
be
should stop in the jump. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
Or unless you getting paid on the table, that's why you gotta say slow it down. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Make a dent in it. What the fuck does that mean?
Right.
Epstein got murdered. Y'all niggas done got wild evidence and wild
What?
paperwork.
Hmm.
That's It's been 4 years. What's
Hmm.
up? I'm pretty sure with all the paperwork and all the information y'all got, y'all already know what the pipeline is going. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what players is part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, son. Let's stop this buffoonery. So, and like, nah, we're not playing this buffale games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
ain't no way y'all don't know. It's just y'all don't give a fuck to care about it. You care about niggas selling drugs and go after that. But in hindsight, y'all the niggas bringing the drugs in the first place.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What style say in Boys in the Hood? We don't got no planes. We don't got no ships. How
Hmm.
the shit getting in the hood? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You bring the drugs in, you take the kids out, and don't nobody do nothing.
Hmm.
Oh, it's cool, right? Oh, when the crack era was happening to black people, oh, you needed to lock niggas up and give harsh penalties and shit. But when the fentanyl and opioid crisis was going on in middle America, in places where there's hardly any melanated people, oh, now it's a crisis. Oh,
Hmm.
they need help now. Like, get the fuck out of here, son. Y'all niggas got me fucked up, son. Y'all
So,
niggas on real goofy shit.
to see them verbalize that they're trying to be they're being more tactical and measures are being taken, and it's like, dude, they running rings around you. It's 1,000 kids. I mean, that's completely unacceptable. Now, it's never okay for one kid to go missing, but it would be acceptable if you said maybe 5 kids them going missing. Okay, 5 kids don't go missing. We need to do something. There's 5 kids that's going missing, not literally 1,000.
This has been an ongoing occurrence. Like there was a case back in the 80s where a bunch of kids got taken in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? In Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, from that time until now, y'all should have had better protocol and better shit going on and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised that none of the families is on Instagram or on some to just bring more awareness. Like, yo, my child has been taken. I haven't seen my child, and more people come together. They come and create a live and talk about what's going on. Like, you don't even see that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy to me because it's like you would think that people would see that the township, the local law enforcement is not doing nothing. So I'm gonna take it into my own hands and get the word out and let people know what's really going on in Ohio. And that's just either it's being filtered out and not being showcased like that, and that's also another red flag type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, yo, when y'all go on niggas' lives all day when they be snitch on themselves with guns and shit, but you like when people go on live to talk about their child being missing, y'all don't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you gonna be about it, be about it. Do it for everything. Don't pick and choose when this shit best suits you. But you know what I'm saying? All this is a game at the end of the day that these motherfuckers play. And it's not cool when you're playing with people's lives. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People putting trust in this system that don't give a fuck about us. Like, shit is wild crazy to me. Like, we still care about the system that don't have showcased time and time again that they don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's a Joe Schmo in the bitch or a Tyrone in there. It doesn't matter. Like once
Mm-hmm.
you get up in their group, that's it. You just a clone of everybody else. You can't tell me you're gonna go into the system and change it from within. That's the dumbest shit I've heard in my life. Because
Mm-hmm.
how you gonna change the belly? Or how you gonna change the beast if you in the belly?
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna do it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Either you gonna do your own shit.
Because you can't do it by yourself if you're in the belly.
You know what I'm saying?
You need
You
to
or
get
go
far.
in there and hopefully niggas ain't get their mind fucked up and you find other like-minded people up in there.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got answer. There's always somebody you got to answer to and shit. And not everybody's like Mike Larry and Marcus Burnett and do
Right.
their own shit and just like, oh, fuck it. So I ain't killed nobody today, Captain. You know what I'm saying? I ain't murdered nobody today type shit. Like, yo, we just gonna find this shit and just get it done, and we just gonna ask for forgiveness later. Like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no real cops out there like that. Like, yo, shit is fucked up. We gonna go out there and we gonna knock on some doors and see what's going on. Like, it's not like y'all don't have the information. Y'all have it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got this shit. You got motherfuckers that sit in a computer all day, siphoning through the dark web all day. That's their fucking job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got CIA. They siphon through fucking the internet all day, every day. It's a fucking basement with 20 niggas on the computer 8 hours a day, and that's all they do.
And you know it's crazy because you mentioned that it's crazy that the CIA, the FBI, the local police, a lot of them don't even like to work with each other in conjunction to make one big dent about anything. So
Fact. That's a
just
fact.
just that by and large, they run in circles around what they're being tactical about. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
fact.
It's very disingenuous when they say, well, they're making strides and being very tactical for the next move that they're going to make about, by putting a dent into these kids, these thousands of kids that's gone missing in Ohio. So by the time they come up with a solution in Ohio, they done went on to the next state and took another 1,000 kids. And the reason why this is the biggest BS to me is because we see it all the time in the movies, and this is why we talk about these movies, such as we just talked about the other day when they cloned Tyrone, Us, where you have these kids that go missing. They have a movie called Traffic with Omar Epps and the lady that was married to Robert Thicke. I can't remember her name right now. But they have movies dedicated to this, and y'all know for a fact to have 1,000 kids to be missing, you have to have certain entities involved with that.
Right.
The local community is involved with that. You can't have 1,000 people going missing, especially 1,000 kids. And we're not talking about 1,000 adolescents. They specifically said teenagers from 13 to 19 years old. 1,000 has gone missing. So you have 13 to 19-year-old younger people gone missing, and nobody know nothing. And
Right. No, not.
and you mean to tell me that the local police is not involved? The church is not involved? And the reason why I say police and the church is because those are the two entities that's tapped into any community, and they can hide under the guidelines of of doing well or being well, well doers for the community. Police officers, churches, school administration. You don't know who's at the school administration that's tapped into the dark side where they could get kids like, yeah, come, come by and do your homework. Come, we got a study group.
You
You
know
don't.
what's just to add to that? You know that when you say, I just learned this shit the other day. You know when you send your kids to school, once they start going to school, you have no rights over your kid. And it was evident with during these school shootings, right?
Mhm.
When a school shooting happens, the school has no obligation to call you, son. You can't go into the school and get your kid out just like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you law enforcement, unless you were CPS. You feel me? So back to your point is like, yo, these institutions that we uh, hold near and dear are literally a detriment to us because we don't even know that we sign away our kids when we allow them to go to public school. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because there'll be certain situations where you can't even go up to the school and get your kid out. You got to ask permission to get your own child, your own flesh and blood out to school. You can't just go up there and just take your kid out and they're gonna be okay with it. It's gonna be a red flag. Write a report, and if this shit happens 2 or 3 more times, guess what? CPS gonna be involved. Guess what? The local police gonna be in there.
You mean if your name is not on that list? Because I had to take a leave out of school a few times, and they ain't never question it or
No,
whatever.
but you have to call in and be like, "Hey, I'm coming to pick up a lid." You know what I'm saying?
No, I
You
didn't have
just
to. I didn't have to do that. I'm just saying maybe it's for a particular area. I'm not necessarily refuting that. I'm just saying with when it came to my daughter, I went up to the school and got her if need be, and I didn't have to call. I just pull up because I'm on that list. Like I'm the you know people that don't know.
But what I'm saying is, if the school is in a lockdown, or if the school's having a school shooting, you
Oh,
can't go up there and go get your child if you want to make sure your child is safe.
okay,
You know what I'm saying?
okay. That makes sense because they had like a scare at the school, and the school called me, and then she called me. That particular and that really hit her different. So but I remember speaking to her. I didn't speak to the school. I ended up speaking to my daughter. In that particular instance, but yeah, but that's very interesting. The fact that if something like that was to happen, that the school is not obligated to give you a call. They may, but they're not necessarily obligated to.
Now, and I get it. It's like, okay, if it's 1,000 seniors or whatever, it's hard to make 1,000 phone calls. But y'all all in the system. We have that system where you can send out mass text messages
Right,
and shit.
right, right, right.
And I get all that. But at the end of the day, if something's going on in school, I don't give a fuck about nobody else's kid but my own. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
facts. Now is
You
it
feel me?
now for all schools, or is it high school, junior high, or
I believe it's all public schools. If you're paying for school, then it might be a different story. But at the end of the day, it's still within the same educational system, which which is always against us anyway. Because what are they really teaching? But that's a whole nother topic.
yeah,
But
yeah,
with the educational system itself, unless you pay in the school, I believe these public schools is all part of it. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Let your child say, "Oh, mommy and daddy had an argument," and in confidence with a teacher, right?
mm-hmm.
Not knowing that the teacher now is obligated to tell
Yeah,
administration,
yeah,
not
that's
administration
yeah,
called CPS. Now the police is involved. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, that's a fact. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, get the fuck out of here. And then y'all want to talk about, oh, y'all want to do what's best for the child. Okay, cool. You take the child out and put him in a shelter. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Where it's predicated on nothing but sexual assault, violence, and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, CPS is another known entity for breaking up homes, taking children out of situation, put them in a situation that's even worse than the situation that they was in.
Mm-hmm.
Get away from the violence. What they do? They run to the streets, and then you know what I'm saying? The streets got them.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these systems that we got in play. Yes, the creation of it in the beginning was to help children out and all that other shit. But then when you start to see that money is involved, and any type of money can corrupt anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You start paying them, they start looking the other way type shit, and then they get numb to this shit and they just keep their eyes closed and just keep collecting that extra fee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Not to switch subjects, but to add on to your point, I grew up with a guy that became a corrections officer, was a corrections officer for about 8 years, and then he got caught receiving bribes from the inmates, and he ended up doing 25.
you know what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying?
I'm lying. He ended up doing 15. He ended up doing 15.
Because you start destroying the confidence within the system.
Mm-hmm.
Like like they make it seem like, oh, these people is upstanding people. People is just people at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I told you off camera, everybody got a price.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Everybody got a number where if you hit that number, they're willing to look the other way. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
There ain't people where it's like, I don't give a fuck what number you giving me. I'm not folding, I'm not bending, I'm not breaking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody want everybody has that price, and then you match that price, shit. You know what I'm saying? You could get a lot. You could get away with a lot. So
Bands,
back to the point of like drugs and then children going missing. Ain't no way in hell nobody know that this particular block in Harlem or this particular block in Crenshaw Boulevard is pumping mad weight and nobody don't know nothing.
mm-hmm.
Local police, they all know. They just allowing this shit to happen. So the same way that they know all these kids is missing in this certain demographic or this certain community or you know what I'm saying, this area, they know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm getting paid to look the other way. There's no other way to describe it. Because how could you let 1,000 kids go missing and you don't do near another to find not one child? Like
Mm-hmm.
one.
Don't have one lead.
Come on, son.
And,
Come on.
and and then I think it hits us differently because we're from New York City, and as big as New York City seems, is really a small place because we're literally like two people removed from each other. Like I remember,
Literally living on top of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
right, right. Like even when we was at Morrisville, one of my dudes from high school, right? My boy from Morrisville went to he went to college and then he went on to do security. When we went to Morrisville, he one of the dudes we went to Morrisville that played football with us, he ended up going to another school, and then about 5 years ago I look up on social media, they know each other. Like, how do they know each other? You know what I'm saying? And then they in the same profession as each other. And I thought it was interesting, like, damn. So I went to high school with him in Brooklyn, and I went to Mooresville College with you all the way upstate New York. And then somehow in their journey, they actually met each other. Like, so here's you have a weak link in some sort of way, and that's how New York City is. So if you had 1,000 teenagers that go on missing in New York, I wouldn't want to throw this out there, but it would hit us home because that's probably somebody that we know, kids that's going missing, or the worst of the worst. In our eyes, one of our kids will go missing or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how much 1,000 kids is, and nobody know nothing. Nobody's tapped into nothing. So out of those thousands of kids, none of the family members was tapped into the police. None of those family members was tapped into somebody that runs the local community where they care enough to find one of those kids and trickle down to the rest of them. Not one. So if that's going on, like how I always say from the beginning of time, because it's like we joke about this all the time. It's just too much weight for nobody to know nothing. You know what I'm saying? But JoJo, all he know is tires, rubble, rubble, rubble.
Know something. Don't
You
know no something. You know what I'm saying?
JoJo, you feel me? You know something. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, when all this is going on, nobody's linking up. The CIA is not saying, you know what? Let's put our beef to the side. Let's put our credits to the side. Yo, I'm FBI, you CIA, you local police, you the sheriff office. Yo, let's combine our resources and just shut this shit down.
Come on. And we live in Florida. Like, for those who don't live in Florida, like some of the police departments in Florida got hella bread, son. These police departments is fucking. It's insane how the police departments look in certain parts of Miami, like, and certain parts in Broward. Like, these police departments got the bread. They got money.
They
They
don't
don't
even
need no more resources. Them niggas
right.
is good. But
Hmm.
it's as far as, but it also goes as far as like the police force and the people they bringing into the force. Like, that will make it make more sense because you got your buildings is fucking lit. So it's like what's going on? You got high tech data. You got the fucking internet. You got social media. Y'all can tap into a lot of shit that motherfuckers ain't tapped into, and y'all not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So to bring back to Ohio, like, I'm pretty sure the police departments got bread. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The police departments is well built. You know what I'm saying? Like they got new cars, they got new uniforms, everybody got the newest gear on, but ain't nobody doing nothing. They just chilling, huh? They
Mhm.
just what's more important, son? Like
So
that's
what do
mhm.
you what do you think the end game that they should get to stop this?
The end game. Like I said, like there's so much data that they can use. Like there's traffic cameras. There's fucking people. Certain people buying vans, like cars. Like all of a sudden, this local car dealership that hasn't been selling nothing. All of a sudden, it's just they meeting quota. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like tap into that shit. Like there's a show I watched where I'll probably mention it next show. But there's a show I watched where this retired police detective becomes a private eye, and he's investigating a murder. And then all the police, everybody just wrote it off in this, accepted the fact that this particular person murdered the person, right? But then when he was looking through the files, he noticed that the person they got murdered didn't have the watch, and the watch that they had was some high luxury watch, and it wasn't put in the item box. So the nigga started looking into where the watch went. You know what I'm saying? And then now he unfolded this whole big conspiracy of like local cops doing crooked shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my point is like, yo, y'all got so much information that you can use that you can find out what's going on. It's not like it definitely cannot be that hard. This ain't the 70s, you know what I'm saying? This
Mm-hmm.
ain't the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
back then, yeah, it was a little harder. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Definitely a lot harder if 1,000 kids go missing like it was in Atlanta. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If you don't hit the ground running right then and there, you're gonna lose the trail already. We got
Mm-hmm.
traffic, we got fucking shit that scan your fucking license plate. We got shit that scan your face. You
Mm-hmm.
got, you know what I'm saying? If certain vans is moving around too much, that shit get documented. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what the end game. I don't know. It's the at this particular point, I can't see what the end game really could be like, other than getting money. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of trafficking children and teenagers, like the movie Taken says, it's a big business.
Mm-hmm.
It's $1 billion business. You know what I'm saying? The sex industry is a huge fucking business. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many layers to this shit and so many people in the pot that everybody getting fed so well that they just look the other way. Oh, it ain't my kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. My
Mm-hmm.
children safe. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, whoa, like if you could think like that, how are you police? You know what I'm saying?
For some reason, I've always believed that evil things always carried a certain karma. So, I say this all the time. I'm not a good dude. I'm very dangerous, but I do good deeds and I move with righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So, some of y'all I get what I just said. You know what I'm saying? I move with righteousness. I move with principle, but I stay dangerous, and there's a reason why. And again, I need for protection of my friends and my family. You people understand violence. When they bring violence to your doorstep, they understand violence. Very few people understand that, if you bring me violence and I stay cool, you'll be cool. Very few people understand that. But even if you go that route, the people that you try to be cool with, they have to understand you could get very violent in
Mm-hmm.
every possible way. Because if you have a gun and somebody else has a gun and that person is alert that you have a gun, they probably don't want to shoot you. But if you shoot, they're gonna shoot. And if you miss, you might get hit. So your steps is gonna be different. So that's why I say I stay dangerous. Because I do. And this world that we live in has raised me to be that way. I remember Tupac had said something very profound that still stuck with me still to this day. I've heard him say this probably about like 10 years ago. Obviously, it's an old video footage that I heard him say when he said that this country eats its young. You raise us a certain way, and then you hate us for it. You raised me to be the person that I am. America, you all the things that I've been through. And I'm not the type of person that blames the system for all my problems because it's not all in the system. But I was born into this world. I didn't make it. Same thing Tupac said. And that really resonate with me. It's like, how can you kill something that you raise? Because on one hand, you want somebody like myself and like my brother to protect you, your family, and our loved ones. You will want somebody like us around you because of our core principles and the things that we believe in.
That's a fact. You need to stand on your shit, go out like a blaze of glory, like my man Blizzard did. You know what I'm saying?
Straight Blizzard, you heard?
Out to Blizzard, you heard?
Shout out to Blizz, you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
forgot Blizzard's real name. I remembered, then I forgot. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the end game for us is it has to be to end this thing, to not put a dent in it, to end it because it's getting too close to home. It's getting too close to home. So when I hear things like that, it's very scary because every time, uh, when I watch the Taken movie because it relates to the story, it pisses me off because one, because who Liam Neeson is and his history, and two, the story is just ridiculous, and it's ridiculous in a sense is this: how many parents has Liam Neeson's character set of skills to find their children? How many parents have the resources that he has at his disposal at the drop of a dime to
Remember, he ain't had those resources. His ex-wife husband had the bread where he needed that private plane to go to France real quick.
Mhm.
Remember? I ain't
Right,
have no buddy. I don't got no bread. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And as he got off the phone with him, he went to his ex-wife crib like, yo, nigga, I need that private jet now, nigga.
Right,
So
but it's still his resource, even though it's not his personally. He tapped into something that he could get. His wife is not going to tell his wife, new man is not going to say no because he dealing with the wife,
Mhm.
and that's it, and that's her child. You know what I'm saying? So that's still his resource, even though it may not be his. How many people, bro?
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's say if you needed $20,000, right? How many people can you call me like, yo, I need $20,000 today?
That's what I'm saying.
You
That's
feel
not
me? It's
yeah.
not us, but it's a tapped in resource. So how many people that that we can call, God forbid somebody go missing, that we could call and say, yo, I need to borrow your private jet. How many people can we call that we got one of our mans that's in another country that's tapped into the local law enforcement and how to move within the country to tap into this bad guy over here and to tap into that brothel house over there to follow the trail to find your kid?
Mhm.
None of us.
Right.
So that movie, I can't stand it from that aspect alone
Yeah.
because by he found her, she done went through like three different countries and then found her on a boat going to somewhere with a sheik, and we never saw her again. You never see her again. Real.
That's what
By the time she was found, she was, I don't want to say ran through, but she was ran through. They
I'm
dropped off at one spot over there. She had to get her cheeks clapped over there. The other spot he really thought he was gonna find her. Then he found they kept the girl drugged up, getting the cheeks clapped over there. And then when they found her, she was already on the bed, and the sheik was about to go hammies.
it's crazy.
So again, is so unrealistic from that aspect, and it hits so close to home because it's on U.S. soil.
But see, that movie also showcases that the local law enforcement was tapped in.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga was getting his check. He was getting his bread.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that these certain mafia niggas moved in and this was their MO, and he was getting paid to look the other way.
Mm-hmm.
The French nigga. When he got
Mm-hmm.
the French bureaucrat nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then come to find out, it was a couple of other bureaucrats at the damn auction.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's why it's impossible for me to believe that y'all don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the bottom tier niggas that the boots on the ground, the niggas that kicking doors may not know nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just getting orders and shit. But the niggas who make the orders, they gotta know something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they know something. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They definitely know. They know which doors to kick down, which doors not to kick down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So it's like motherfuckers know, and y'all getting paid not to do anything, which
Mm-hmm.
is wild. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which is wild crazy. But y'all can send $1 billion to a whole nother country we don't give a fuck about. We
Mm-hmm.
got problems over here. Ain't like everything's hunky dory and shit. Everybody just having champagne and being cool. It's
Mm-hmm.
real fucked up shit going on here. Niggas don't even got good water in Flint. Niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like homelessness is at a all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Like you could, and then on top of that, you gonna make us believe that we got money to send to other niggas.
Mm-hmm.
It is fucked up. Like, come on, son. Y'all niggas got this shit all the way fucked up. There's no politician in here that really doing something about it. Like, there's nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody we can really look at and be like, nah, this motherfucker holding it down. Or this chick, yeah, she came in the office. She's really doing it for the people. Ain't none of y'all doing nothing for nobody but yourselves, kid. Y'all get into office, y'all talk all this good game, it sound good. I call it serpentine tongue. You say one thing, but you really mean another. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
sounds good when you're saying it, but when it comes down to it, y'all niggas ain't doing shit, and nobody's holding nobody accountable. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how you, like, that's crazy, boy. We got a system where nobody can get checked, but you can check everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, son. That's crazy to me, son.
And it's only going to get worse. And honestly, for all the families that's going through, that whole situation in Cleveland, prayers out to you. I don't know what I would do in that situation. God forbid if I was in that situation, I wouldn't even know how to act. I wouldn't know how to be. Um, so, prayers goes out to those families. From Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Um,
Facts.
to end things on a lighter note, um, let's talk about a little bit about the NFL before we get up out of here. I don't know if you've seen any of the games today, but uh, all these games they was playing for a check, bro. What I mean by that, like dudes was balling today. Today was, I believe this week was cut week for the NFL, where they have see, people don't realize like your checks is not guaranteed, especially in football. You could sign for a whole year, but they could cut you within a certain amount of games, and you get paid for those games, but you won't get paid for the rest of the year. So tomorrow you may see like an exorbitant amount of guys get cut, but today everybody was balling. Because these games, it felt like college where teams was down crazy and teams was coming back, and it was like the Wild West. The only team that really got their doors blown off, and there's going to be a whole lot of dudes collecting that last check tomorrow, is the Giants. They got swept by the Cowboys today, 49-17. And in all honestly, the Cowboys was being nice in the second half because the Giants was up on the Giants. The Cowboys was up on the Giants like 28-0 by halftime.
Sad.
So they was being nice. So you had the Giants losing to the Cowboys 49-17. Another great game that went down to the wire was the Seahawks versus the Commanders. I hate that name. They should just go back to the Redskins. But that game went down to the wire. The Falcons and the Cardinals game went down to the wire, 25-23. The Lions and the Chargers game went down to the wire, 41-38. Uh, the Titans and the Bengals, man, the Titans is for real. They got a young squad, and they are balling. They end up beating the Bengals 30-27.
Mm.
And if anybody who sports gamble, today was not the day to gamble. Well, actually, it was the day to gamble. If you're betting on players, today was the day to gamble. If you was betting on players, but if you was betting on teams, I feel bad for you. I feel if you was betting on spreads, I feel bad for you. Today wasn't the day. So the Texans end up coming back and beating the Bengals 30-27. Uh, the Saints and the Vikings was another wild game. The Vikings won 27-19. Both you already know Kirk Cousins is out for the year. Uh, the Saints quarterback Derek Carr ended up getting hurt. So you had Jameis Winston come in, and he threw a touchdown. But you know what he does best? He throws them picks. He served up about 3 picks today in the second half alone.
Man.
Uh, yeah, but he threw like a touchdown. I believe he threw 2 touchdowns. But it was still a close game that they lost. The Steelers and the Packers was another good game. Steelers won 23-19. That went down to the wire. And the Browns and the Ravens game was probably the best game all day. The Ravens was beating the Browns like 24-3, 24-9. And the Browns came back and beat them 33-31. So it was a wild one today. Even the Colts in the Patriots game was a close game, 10-6. Obviously wasn't much touchdowns, wasn't a lot of fireworks, but that was a hard hitting game. And yeah, it was one of them. It was one of those weeks, bro. Everybody was balling today, so it definitely felt like a college vibe. And the Jets lost today to the Raiders 16-12. Uh, you know,
Shout out to everybody that was balling today on NFL Sunday. You heard?
facts. Was thoroughly entertained. And if you a dude like me, that has the fun pass, they just go right to the good stuff. Ain't no timeouts, ain't no, but they flipping one game to the next. Like each play, they just what I'm saying. So, and shout out to the Lions. The Lions is for real. The Lions is for real. I wouldn't call them a championship team yet, but they're for real. That's a scary bunch. Their backfield, they probably got the best. They probably got the. Ugh. Yeah, they probably have the best backfield depth in the NFL right now. They have the best back. I'll say them, the Dolphins, and I'll leave it there. Them and the Dolphins, they probably got the best crew depth of running backs. They was balling, so good games. Uh, any last things you want to say to the people before we get up out of here?
Uh, oh, appreciate y'all tuning in once again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep this going every Sunday and Thursday. I appreciate y'all. This is our 4th episode. We're going to keep it rolling. Like I said before, every day we're going to take one step forward, one day at a time. You saying?
Facts. Facts. Also want to give a shout out to our sponsors for Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast, OUV Records, one of the sponsors. Shout out to the Bravo section, one of the sponsors, and also Button Snaps, streaming Button Snaps slash snaps.com. You go there right now, new streaming service website that's catered to the culture for us, by us. Me again, Ashley Lovechild, artist, rapper extraordinaire. My brother, you already know, Mr. Santana. You know what I'm saying? His photography is amazing. One of the best photographers in the country. Make sure y'all tap in. You can follow me at Ashley Lovechild on Instagram or all my social media platforms. You want to shout out to your Instagram real quick, bro?
Yeah. We ain't even do shout outs to our gram. So, we just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep getting better and better for our audience. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all want to follow me, definitely Follow me at Bravo Section _. You know what I'm saying? All platforms for sure.
And make sure y'all hit the like button. We don't say that enough, but make sure y'all hit the like button. And the reason why I don't say it a lot, me personally, is because I hate when I watch somebody else's up. They like, yo, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you they be
And they do that shit that early in the beginning. Like, what if I don't like your whole shit? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm
But
saying? But we
hit
appreciate,
that like button.
yeah, hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, continue to show us that love. We're gonna continue to bring you that real deal energy. And it's up from there. You already know.
Yes, sir. Holla at us on the next one.
You heard?
Yeah.
Love the art.